Hi, friends. Host Eric here. I'm talking to famous people, and tonight, this episode of Talking to Famous People is brought to you metaphysically, and not actually sponsoring me, but by Buckler NonAlcoholic Beer. My third-ish about favorite non-alcoholic beer. Pretty damn good. It's got kind of a Chimay taste to it. But my two favorites are Bitburger and Klaus Thaler Dry Hopped. Two best non-alcoholic beers. Anyway, as usual, I'm here, I'm queer, I don't want any more bears. And what I do want is for everybody to hear the following greeting. Welcome. Glad to have you here. It's a real joy having you come to my party. And I've got cocktails. I've got bong rips for everybody. There's lines of Coke in the back. Just kidding. I like to joke about Coke and stuff, but I don't actually do it. Just FY everyone's eye. FY your mother effing I, dog. FY your MF and I. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, this is called Slabbery and Blabbery tonight. And the reason is things are impossibly slabified. So much so that I feel like increasingly the weight of destiny upon me. It seems so obvious that this relationship with Rachel was supposed to happen. And I was supposed to be with this person. That I needed to experience this to access certain aspects of FI and to understand what it really means to love somebody unconditionally, and also to really find them precious. It's like there's a number of eye-opening things here. You don't really find out how precious you find somebody until you consider the real possibility of losing them. Anywho, this live stream is really just to let me talk out shit that I didn't really talk out before in previous live streams, if I felt so inclined, and also to just to engage with everybody about any topics they might have and so forth. It's been a crazy week or so now. It's been a crazy week. And I am struck. Today's takeaway is how valuable and important it is, at least for metaphysical types like ENTPs and INFJs, to have certain fundamental questions answered and certain things known. Like, Rachel and I really trust each other, deeply trust each other. Even when she's in a psychotic episode, she trusts me. She doesn't mean she necessarily agrees with me or obeys me or anything. Certainly not. Not that and it's never like that. It's not like I'm controlling or bossy or anything. I'm not looking for an obedient woman. But the point is, she trusts me even in her darkest moments. And I trust her even in her darkest moments. And I trust me as well. So part of the reason I trust myself so much more, perhaps, than I used to, is because of the way that being with Rachel has healed and affirmed parts of me that were damaged in previous relationships. So, they say at the hospital, what Rachel told me is they might discharge her tomorrow. They may discharge her the day after. They may discharge her the day after. The nurse said, well, they just started her medication which suggested they're not going to discharge her tomorrow. I'm just told it's day to day. The thing is, apparently, there's a legal requirement they know what the plan is for the person. There'd be some sort of plan for the person before discharging them. They can't just shoot them out into the world mentally ill and say, see you later, I guess, which is probably a good thing. So, anyway, we have a very clear plan, hopefully. I think pretty sure that her mom and I are in agreement about the basics of the plan. Certainly getting her back to New York. And I hope that her mom realizes that I provide for her mother a long-term solution for the care and well-being of a daughter who I'm sure she's on many occasions worried about what's going to happen to long-term. Where's the solution for Rachel, That's a TE-DOM for you. So the answer is I'm the solution for Rachel. I'm going to take care of her. I love her, all that kind of stuff. And I also can't have her here with me right now. So anyway, that's what's going on with all of that stuff. I don't have any particular need to discuss those matters any further in this live stream. I feel pretty resolved about the whole thing. But again, I'm struck by the fact that in general, in a relationship, what one needs and what one gets and what one wants, it's going to be, if you get those things, then other things don't really matter. And if you don't get the things that are unacceptable to you, if you get the things that you must have, you get them all, plus some gravy, whatever else is extra nice about a relationship that's not absolutely mandatory or necessary, they're deal breaker for you, per se. And you don't get any deal breakers for you. So you get everything you must have. You don't get anything you can't have. Everything else is kind of not very important. So, the fact that Rachel is mentally ill is not very important. But it's simple. Not a very important factor in my relationship. And I was struck by the similarity in her eyes when she was in a psychotic state to a look in my first wife's eyes, who was also mentally ill. And I was struck by the dramatic difference, which is I didn't like or get along with my first wife at all. And she was mentally ill. And it was excellent that we divorced, and she was a cheater, my first wife. And she was so vastly different, even though they had kind of a similar affect when they were being mentally ill. Just general appearance in the eyes or whatever. That's the point. It's not the illness, it's the person. I love Rachel, and I've never had that disconnect with her that I had with my first wife all the time. So there's no reason for me to care very much about this. Anyhow, one difference for sure between before this and after this is before this episode and after it is I've decided for sure I'm not going to have any children with her. I don't think that I want to have kids with her because that would require her to stop taking her meds, and I don't want that to happen. That's not gonna be okay. So no kids. That's fine. That's how it's supposed to be. I'm not supposed to have any more kids. That's why my last girlfriend happened to be in menopause, and it was too late for her to have any more kids. I was willing, I was down. This girlfriend got in the cards. Turns out, as I was talking to her in the hospital, I don't think she really ever wanted to have kids. She was kind of about it anyway. We were playing Gift of the Magi again. I was saying, hey, I'm willing to have kids if you want to. And she was like, hey, I'm willing to have kids if you want to. And neither of us really were seeing the obvious reality that neither of us really wanted to have kids. Not enthusiastically or a kid or anything. So yeah, that's changed. I'm not going to have kids with her. I'm not going to have any kids with her or ever again there for her, It doesn't mean I won't marry her. I will. For sure. I have no problem with that. So 10 minutes in, I'm not really entertaining people very much. There's only 3 people here. It's a fairly lean turnout. Hard to say why sometimes I get better turnout than others. I know it's a little on the late side for America anyway, East Coast. It's now 2 in the morning. Of course, I'm getting relatively tired myself. As the evening progresses, I'll probably get more tired since I'm not getting any engagement in the chat so far with anybody. I'm just rolling off on my own. I'm just rolling off my own SI anything mostly. The only thing in my SE frame of reference to gauge to go off of, so I just go off of what I've been thinking about. Countess says, "Oh, good. Do you think I should order some more sushi? I already ate 10. I don't know. Are you full? How many sushis does it take to fill you up?" Did I mention? I think I did, but I'll mention it again. Tonight's live stream is brought to you metaphysically by my metaphysical sponsor, not actually my sponsor, Buckler Non-Alcoholic Beer, my 3rd favorite non-alcoholic beer. Pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Now, I will say one advantage, I've been thinking about the various advantages of Rachel moving back to New York. One of them is I will go through non-alcoholic beer less quickly. So, Rachel likes non-alcoholic beer too. She likes beer, but she doesn't like drinking alcohol. So, non-alcoholic beer is perfect for her. So the thing is, she'd drink maybe 2 out of every 6-pack and I'd have 4. But still, it's the same expensiveness as beer, as imported beer, So if you're drinking a 6-pack or more a day, that gets pretty pricey. Not that we drank quite that much, but and frankly, it doesn't really bother me that it's like that because I have that relationship with non-alcoholic beer that I always wish I had been able to have with regular beer, which is I drink 2 or 3 of them usually, and then I stop. And I feel like, okay, satisfied. I've had enough. It's extremely beer-like. There's a couple, my 2 favorite non-alcoholic beers are shockingly beer-like. Bitburger and Dry Hopped Klaus-Taller. Everything about it makes you feel like you're drinking beer. You get kind of heavy. You get that kind of foamy burp. It tastes like beer. It's crazy good. And the Bitburger, at least, I know the Bitburger, I think the dry hopped one as well is 0.0. Like this is less than 0.5%, which means less than 1 proof. But it has a little bit of alcohol in it. At least, less than 1 proof. You might say, well, Eric, doesn't that mean you haven't really not had a drop of alcohol? No, it doesn't mean that. Because, if you have fresh squeezed orange juice, a couple of days old, maybe in the fridge, drink it, that's less than 1 proof. There's a lot of shit you consume that has less than 1 proof alcohol in it. And so I just have to classify this as an acceptable drink for me. Do I prefer the ones that have 0.0 or ones that have 0.5? I prefer the ones that I prefer, which is I like Bitburger best, which happens to be a 0.0, and I think the Klaus-Taller dry hopped is as well. This is my 3rd favorite one. I will also give a shout out to my next beer. I'm giving you a tour of my life here. My SI life. Tour of my SI life. What's coming next in the product shout out parade called Talking with Famous People? I want to give a hashtag shout out. Hashtag Heineken Zero is coming up next. All right, so there are some non-alcoholic beers I don't like. Okay, like, so there are some shitty ones out there that are just like shitty. I had this lemon beer one night. Well, I still have a couple of them. I don't think I'm ever going to get around to drinking them because they don't taste like beer at all. This is not among them. This is one of the class of beers that I do like. The non-alcoholic beers that I do like. Heineken Zero. It's a good non-alcoholic beer. I don't know where I'd classify it in terms of my list of favorites because it's in the same general category of Beck's non-alcoholic and St. Pauli Girl non-alcoholic. They all satisfy a certain lagery-ish, sort of German lager kind of taste. That's good. They're all good. Kombucha's too risky. If I were to go for kombucha, I'd be seeking out the alcohol content, basically. I'd be saying, okay, I want to try to find some low alcohol kombucha that's kind of fudging the line or whatever. I'm not fucking around with it. The reason I drink beer is because I love drinking beer. It's so good. It's like when I got home after visiting Rachel and put my mom to bed and everything, and I was like, okay, I want to go out there. I want to crack open a beer. I want to relax, live stream a bit, smoke some bowls. This one is quite Heineken-ish. It tastes like Heineken. Heineken was never my favorite beer, but it was always a reliable fallback. If like back when I was drinking, I liked IPAs before they were popular. Now that everybody drinks IPAs, back in the day, I liked IPAs, but I also liked various different kinds of lagers. I like Chimay and the Belgian beers a lot. Maybe my all-time favorite for the last stretch of my drinking career anyway. Well, actually, my all-time favorite is Guinness Stout. Now, there's no way I'm ever going to be able to drink that again. They're not going to ever make a non-alcoholic Guinness Stout, I'm quite sure. But, and that's something I miss. I used to like Black and Tans as well, Harp and Guinness combined. And, that's one cool thing is it's not like I didn't get to explore the available products. I tried every kind of beer there was. But like if you're going to a bar in Taipei, for example, which I remember doing, that was one trip where I had a pretty good relationship with my alcohol consumption that trip. I was working much of the day, and then I'd go to these like kind of expatty bars in Taipei and drink in the evening. Sometimes with this guy who was working with me, and sometimes by myself. It's a beautiful city. It's a beautiful city, and it's a great country, Taiwan. I've been to Shanghai and I've been to Taipei, and Taiwan is great. And China is, China. Oh my God. They have these things called China Days when you're an expat, where you go like, you get home and you're shaking your head, and your housemate goes, China Day? And you go, fucking China Day beyond all belief. Your Swiss ex-boyfriend fell in love with a girl he met in a bar in Taipei. They communicated via translating apps, but it is love according to him. I mean, I remember being quite smitten with the girl bartender in one of the Taipei bars I went to. She knew how to how to smile and flirt with the American, get better tips and stuff, So, but I didn't sleep with anybody while I was there. I was married at the time. I certainly wasn't in the market for sex. I think it was even at some point sort of suggested to me like, hey, you need a prostitute. And I was like, no, I don't do that shit. So, anyway, the point of all that Taipei story was just to say that's the sort of place, some foreign country, airport, bar in Taipei, when you order what do they got that you think sounds reliable and familiar and good? Fucking Heineken, right? You order Heineken. I guess nowadays it's like Stella Artois in America is the biggest import beer. Heineken is like the first import beer. Back when I was like 16 or 17, and you go to the liquor store with your friend's older cousin who was 21 would buy you beer, or you'd go pimp it by like waiting outside and going like, hey, could you buy me some beer? If you wanted to get fancy, you get Heineken. It's Delilah. Hello, Delilah. I'm fine. How are you? Trey Carter? Are you sure you're not talking about Dorsey? Yeah, it sounds familiar. What about him? Really? Trey Carter, my former student, is? He was in either the high school logic class or the high school psychology class that I taught for a while. All right, cool. I'll be happy to see you recognize him soon, man. He was in high school. You were in middle school. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just heard a little thing, so I'll check it out. Okay. I'm live streaming right now is the thing, just to let you know. What? Okay. Sorry, everybody. I'm hearing some exciting news that I'll share with you. It said failed to download the multimedia message. I don't know why. Yeah, that'd be great. I'll go open Facebook right now. That's my name. Don't wear it out. Yeah, vaguely. Okay. All right. Don't what? Okay, Delilah. All right, bye. That's crazy. Okay. Love you. Bye. Hey. Oh shit. Never mind. I'll talk to you about it later. Uh okay, so I don't know if anybody here knows about somebody named Trey Carter. Apparently, he was dating this very famous makeup artist on Instagram. And he's a former student of mine. That's what Delilah had to tell me. And, that he cheated on that famous makeup artist that was on Instagram. So, all right. Even if he's skittish because of any in the first slot, was murder by phone considered a possibility? No. Oh, yay! I don't know what all that means. So, cheers to Richard Van Irvin. I'm sorry I didn't say cheers back to you yet. If you're still here, cheers. If you're not, booze. T-R-E Carter. T-R-E Carter. Like his Twitter handle is, here's his Twitter handle. At Trey Carter Official. That's his Twitter name. So if you want to go see it, you can see him holding a picture of the picture that Delilah sent me. He's dressed in a puffy vest, like a parka vest. And then it appears to be a sweater vest underneath that. Then some like half arm length shirt underneath that. Then a long sleeve shirt underneath that. And he's got a Gucci bag in one hand and a Prada bag in the other. Okay, that's my former student. He was not my former debater. He was a student who I just had briefly in a high school class, I think. I don't really remember him very well. But anyway, apparently he's trending right now. Big news. He cheated on his makeup artist Instagram girlfriend. He was one of the basketball players at the school, the prep school I used to teach at. So that's the news from Delilah. Fitness and bodybuilding, good night and morning. May I just say, you are a fitness wonder and a built body that combines into a sporty amalgam of yeah. You're snooping now? Okay, good. So anyway, I got to, Delilah keeps me updated about everybody from my former lives, the students and stuff that I knew well, but I obviously, you don't Yeah, I've become friends with a few former students that I'm still friends with, sort of, but nobody that I really regularly talk to. Christmas was what I got for Christmas this year was I got to put my I got to put my psychotic girlfriend in the hospital. Hilariously. And it's got to be one of the best Christmases I've ever had, frankly. Didn't seem like it at the time, but really rewarding. She's fine. She's fine. And I'm confident she's going to be fine super faster as a consequence of the fact that she knows that we're fine, that she can be psychotic and that's fine. That doesn't bother me. I know it's not her, you know? And she's a wonderful person and I love the shit out of her. And, you know, I keep thinking to myself, I mean, you can't go wrong with ESTJ, having an ESTJ on your side, that's for sure. And I'm not absolute, no, she isn't, never has, and doesn't even really make any real threats to. Certainly not harm herself, and her threats about other people are not even threats. They're like, do you remember her typing video? Yeah. What about it? So anyway, but that's real intimacy. That is real intimacy when you go through a psychotic episode with your she doesn't need meditation 1 2 3. She needs medication. Big difference. People, it's like I might have said those sort of things too before. There are 2 things a person with her condition needs. Number 1 is to have some basic fundamental metaphysical questions answered. Does she have somebody whom she sees eye to eye with and trusts completely, who loves her unconditionally, is there for her 100% of the time, 100% of the way, who doesn't judge her, and who's an advocate on her behalf, and who loves the living shit out of her? Yes, she has me. The other thing she needs is to take her medication. In the aftermath of this psychotic episode, I can guarantee you in no uncertain terms that this transition back to normalcy will be quick and easy because of the fact that she's got those fundamental ontological questions answered. She knows who she is and where she's going and where she's going to be doing it and all that kind of stuff. She knows that she has me and that the basic questions about what she's going to do with her life and are all answered. I know also that I've got somebody who's going to be satisfied with that, you know? No, DMT induced. I've never done DMT. I don't know if I would. Possibly I would. Countess, you're right. They already know which meds work on her. And, okay, hello there. I'll talk to you as hello there or 1 2 3 interchangeably, okay? Now listen, you guys. Stop already. Stop inciting me with your interesting comments because I've got to go smoke the cigarette. So I'm going to need you to please. I'm going to request, please, if you do that. I agree. I've had many people who have come in and out of my life who have had the same experiences as her. For her, meds may be the best choice. Anyway, what I'm saying is this. Now stop. You keep interrupting with your interesting thoughts. Please, I'm trying to talk to you right now. This is what I got to go do. I got to go smoke a cigarette. And what I need you guys to do, if you're willing to, please Vicky Medhey, let me just say, Rachel's never had anybody who's really stood by her. You know, that's the sort of shit that scares guys away for sure, right? Okay, well, this is a deal breaker, and I don't even have to feel guilty about this. You can't possibly stay with her now. Not me. I love her, and it doesn't matter to me that she's mentally ill. And the fact that she has had a psychotic break, I've seen and been through now the worst thing I could possibly go through with her. And it's not that bad. And the rest of the time is great. So, you know, I'm able to provide for her what exactly she needs because it's exactly what I need too. This long distance relationship right now is coming up. It's going to be easy squeezy, no problem. And it's going to last for as long as I'm caregiving for my mother. And my mother will set the terms of how long our separation lasts. When my mother dies, then I'll either maybe move to New York, maybe move her back here. We'll see, you know? Regardless, I'm not what everybody else has been, which is inadequate to this. I am the right person for her. And I can rely on the fact that I'm definitely the best possible person for her, and that she's not going to find somebody better for her than me. That she's not going to cheat on me. That she's not going to stop needing me, right? That's important to me because I'm bipolar. I don't get people's feelings as mattering. I get certainty about shit as mattering and having questions resolved. What resolves all of my questions and hers? Us and her parents and my everything. That's what answers all the questions. That's what the slabs have indicated to me with no uncertainty. So now it's time for me to go smoke the cigarette. Can you please, if you will be so kind, chat amongst yourselves for a few minutes? Okay, I'm done smoking, but now I'm going to pee. So it'll be another minute here. Okay, I have my junk, as you might say, out of my pants. Just giving you an update. I'm now about to release the clenching grip on my prostate. There it goes. And the urine is now streaming from the tip of my member. With a solid stream, too. It's a good solid stream. That's representative of good prostate health. My prostate health has improved a lot over the past few months with all the humpage I've been doing. It's really good for your prostate to hump a lot. If you're a young man and you're not getting a lot of the puss, well, it's definitely fat. It's bad for your prostate not to ejaculate. You should probably try to ejaculate when you're young, like every day. When you get a little older, maybe every other day, you know. Every other day is cool for me these days. You know what's not cool every other day, though? Not having Cheetos. That's not cool. I want to talk about another product that's metaphysically sponsoring us tonight. Delicious Original Cheetos. Don't get Cheetos Puffs. They're gross. Don't get non-original Cheetos. They're gross. You know, I have my mom and Rachel's mom and my dad talking. The other thing is, you know, Rachel's mom is I don't know, maybe will eventually be single again. That would be funny. Oh, I got silent water, Bacon. The other thing is, I've got an extremely clean penis. Pants, pantalone, panty, pantyhose, panty waist, pantalone. All right. Good stuff. All right. I'm out too. Hello there. Bye, everybody. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to wash your hands after you pee. Thanks for being here. Love y'all.